Hello lovely brides and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Lauren, a wedding planner and owner of Bluebird Creative. I provide a weekly dose of wedding planning goodness for the modern bride, so make sure you've subscribed to my channel so you don't miss out. I'm really going to try not to squint today. The sun is coming through the window and it's making me a little bit squinty. Today's video is all about continuing your wedding planning during lockdown. I have had so many questions from brides at the moment. Most people saying something along the lines of, I've lost the excitement for my wedding planning. I now just feel anxious. And I don't want you to feel like that. So I have come up with a few top tips to help you continue your wedding planning through this very strange and uncertain time, giving you a couple of tasks and a couple of ideas to keep you on your feet, keep that excitement going, and when we can get out into the real world again, then you're ready, raring to go, and you may even be a few steps ahead. So let's jump in and let me give you this goodness. Okay, so my number one tip is budgeting. Yes, I've talked about it before. I talk about it probably every video because it is so important. I cannot tell you how important budgeting is, okay? It is the number one most important thing in your wedding planning, and you now have time to do it. So no excuses, girls. Get that budget right. Work out what your total budget is, where it's coming from, and then you can use my formula to divide your budget into sections for each supplier. If you don't know what I'm harping on about, then make sure you check out this video which goes through the breakdown of your budget so you can literally know how much you have for each supplier without adding it all up at the end and going, oh, that didn't work. So budget, ladies, budget. Okay, number two, venue. Now you may be looking at me like, what? How can we go and look at a venue when we're not allowed to leave the house? I've got you. You can't, okay? But what you can do, if you are new to wedding planning and you have literally just got engaged before lockdown, then you won't have a date, you won't have a venue. What you can do, however, is write down your ideas for what you want out of a venue. How many people it needs to cater for, how many people you want to the ceremony, to the day, to the evening, and what sort of style of venue. Once you've got all your ideas down for the type of venue that you're looking for, then get online and start the search. Whittle your number down to, say, 3 to 5 venues that you know are your short list of venues and give them a call. Some of them might be doing online or virtual tours, and if it's then still a, oh yes, I'm really interested, then you can whittle that down to the even shorter shortlist. And if from a virtual tour you think, oh no, it's not what I thought, then you can scrap it. If you end up with 5 still after some virtual tours, then you've got your list ready to go and view venues as soon as you can. And it just saves that little bit of time instead of just sitting around now going, well, I can't do anything. And then when you can go and do something, you're actually almost behind. So try that and see if it lights up that spark of excitement again and gets you really excited about planning your wedding. Let's move on to number 3. Okay, so now's time to become friendly with Pinterest. If you haven't got a Pinterest board or a Pinterest account yet, you need to go and get a Pinterest account. It is one of my favorite tools when creating designs for a wedding. You may already have a Pinterest board. You may even have a wedding Pinterest board that you have been curating for the last 6 years, who knows. But get on there now and really start honing in on what you're drawn to and the type of style and design that really lights you up and makes you feel excited about your wedding. Use that one board and then segment it off into flowers and table styling and the drinks reception so you can really get a feel of what you want it to look like. You can even use amazing tools like Canva to create a proper full design board to really get you excited and get a real feel for the design and style that you're going for. You can then even use that to send to the suppliers that you're working with so that they understand the mood and the style that you want for your wedding day. Or you can just go totally old school, get the scissors out, get the glue out, find some magazines and just cut and stick and made a good old-fashioned mood board. Honestly, there is nothing better than getting stuck into your wedding design to really get you excited about your day. Okay, so number 4 is guest list. Again, if you're newly engaged, then you need to get that guest list written down and deciding how many people you're actually going to be inviting to your wedding. Otherwise, it is complete and utter guesswork. You don't know what venue you're going to be looking at. you don't realistically know if your budget's going to work. You need to know your numbers. So make sure you write down that list and really think about who you want. I've done a video on who to invite and who not to invite to your wedding here, so you can check that out. Okay, so number 6 is supplier searching. So if you are at a point where you think, okay, I need to start booking suppliers, but I don't know if people are working and they're busy looking after the clients that are postponing, I feel you, but suppliers are still taking on more business, and they have to at this time. They need to be making time to take on new clients for next year. It builds excitement for them and their business and keeps everybody looking to the positive, as well as, yes, they do have to spend time looking after their current clients, but they have time for you as well. So sit down, and if they can't confirm dates yet with you because of the current situation, you can still start the conversation. Why not sit down and research 3 florists, for example, that fit your theme, your style, the aesthetic that you're really after and that you are really drawn to. Contact them, start the conversation. They may be able to start pulling together proposals, they may be able to pull together some quotes for you, so you can really work out who's best. But don't go too deep, because obviously they may not be able to confirm dates yet. Some of them will. It's a bit of a 50-50, but start the conversation, because otherwise you don't know. Don't write it off because you think they're not going to be taking on new inquiries. Start the conversation. Okay, so number 6 is my favourite. Basically, level up your skills. If you are working at the moment, then perhaps you don't have loads more time. But if you are currently finding yourself in a situation where you're at home and you're not able to work, then you've got a bit more time on your hands than you're used to. So why not jump in with 2 feet and level up your skills for your wedding planning? That might be taking an online calligraphy course, learning how to make a floral bouquet, learning how to work with some flowers. You might want to take an online wedding planning course. There are so many options, and I'm going to be diving into this in even more depth next week. I cannot wait for that video. But really think about the skills that you can learn and you can enhance to make your wedding planning even better. And finally, number 7 is DIY. Now, if you've decided that there's a couple of elements or even just one element of your wedding that you want to make yourself, now is the time to do it. Don't regret it once this time is over. Get closer to the wedding and think, I didn't have time to make the bunting. Use the time now to make whatever it is that you want to make for your wedding. Whether you're cutting small pieces of fabric and turning them into napkins, whether you're making your own wedding invitations, whatever it is that you would like to do, your favours, do it now. As long as it's something that isn't edible and will last between now and your wedding date, make it now. Absolutely use this time. So guys, I hope you found this video helpful. Please, please, please do not let the anxiety set in at this time. I totally understand that wondering whether your wedding is going to go ahead or not this year is overwhelming and can make you anxious. But don't get stressed about things that you don't have control over and that you don't know just yet. If your wedding is between now and say June, then yes, you'll be looking at postponing. But if you're later on in the year and if you're in the autumn months, then just carry on as normal. Keep calm and carry on. Make a judgment closer to the time and don't let that anxiety set in. Everything will be okay. You no doubt have an amazing team of suppliers by your side that will support you through this. And remember, you can always get in contact with me. If I can give you any advice, then I will do in this current situation. I cannot wait to see you guys next week. I'm diving in deeper into one of these topics. It's going to be amazing. I will see you guys next week.